This is the Brewers Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Milwaukee Brewers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
97 wins, the most now in franchise history. Our 2025 Milwaukee Brewers wrapping up the regular season with a 4-2 win over the Cincinnati Reds at American Family Field. Now, all eyes shall be set on October as they'll wait the winner between the Padres and the Chicago Cubs in the Wild Card Series. Hello, everyone, and welcome into the victorious Locked On Brewers Postcast Edition. My name is Brandon Snide. You can follow me on X, formerly Twitter, at Brandon_Snide. So much to get to in this program. We are wrapping up the regular season. The Brewers getting that franchise record in regular season wins, 97, a 4-2 win. We'll talk about that. Great pitching today from literally almost, it felt like everybody out of the Brewers bullpen, including the Freddie Peralta, who got the start. Great timely hitting, clutch hitting. We'll talk about that. Something we have been waiting for with this team, certainly over the last month-ish or so. And as we've mentioned now a few times, 97th win of the year with the 4-2 win, 97-65, setting the franchise record for most wins in the regular season. As we mentioned before, they finish the regular season with the most wins in baseball, the first time they have done that since 1982. And ladies and gentlemen, hopefully today all of your worries are now set aside as the Brewers will rest up until the National League Divisional Series coming Saturday, game one on Saturday. But we'll get into what happened today, and we'll certainly get to your thoughts, your feelings, your reactions, your opinions. And of course, guys, for the last one of the regular season, your celebrations after a 4-2 win at American Family Field for our Milwaukee Brewers. Let's get into your scoring summary today, brought to you by 5 Hour Energy, Nutrafol, and Zipix. And it begins with the second inning for the Cincinnati Reds. Elly De La Cruz homering off of Freddie Peralta, who did get the start. That would be the only run Freddie would give up. He pitched 2 innings, allowed 3 hits, including that solo shot off of Elly De La Cruz. Nothing for the Brewers in the bottom half of the second inning. The top half of the third inning, TJ Friedl with a solo home run as well in this one. And again, nothing too crazy for the Brewers pitching. You know, we'll discuss that, you know, for the most part. A lot of people making an appearance out of the bullpen, guys, too, that are going to be needed in October making an appearance. One of those, including DL Hall, who gave up that TJ Friedl solo shot in the third inning. But that would be it. That would end it. End the scoring for the Cincinnati Reds. The Brewers getting on the board in the bottom half of the third inning with a Bryce Terrain double. This is after Jackson Chourio had a double of his own. So they swapped spots, and we're going to get to Jackson Chourio in a little bit because there was a trend today that makes me feel better about the bat of Jackson Chourio and what this Brewers offense can be with Jackson Chourio and the way he delivered today. So we'll talk about him. Nothing in the top half of the fourth inning for the Cincinnati Reds. And without further ado, that brings us to tonight's turning point in a 4-2 Brewers win.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Danny Jansen. It is somebody different, it feels like, all year long, right? Like, I mean, we've seen Caleb Durbin have his moment. Joey Ortiz has had his moment. Andrew Vaughn has had his moments. Bryce Terrain, Sal Frelick. Today was Danny Jansen for our Milwaukee Brewers in the bottom half of the fourth inning after an Isaac Collins ground rule double. He was on second. The Brewers at this moment were down 2-1, and absolutely no doubter off of the bat of Danny Jansen to left field. 382 feet would help give the Brewers a 3-2 advantage in the fourth inning. Later in that inning as well, that's really where the game was literally won because nothing else happened after this inning. Andrew Vaughn, also, we mentioned his name just a minute ago. Andrew Vaughn with a double to center field would score another run. The Brewers would be up 4-2 in the bottom half of the fourth and would never look back in this one. They hang on for the 4-2 victory over the Reds at American Family Field. 97-65. They finished the regular season. 52 of those wins coming in front of the home crowd for our Milwaukee Brewers, and they finished it off with 7 hits, scoring 4 runs. And again, it's not a box score. It's not a performance that's going to knock your socks off and think that this Brewers offense is back and better than ever. but it's moments in the game where they needed something from somebody. And today it was Danny Jansen in the fourth inning, who batted last, who was starting to, obviously in place of William Contreras, who is going to be fine come playoff time, but obviously taking some rest with that bat to the wrist injury. And again, 3 for 15 with runners in scoring position. Not ideal, right? Not great. 12 guys left on base, but it's when they needed those hits the most. And the Reds had everything to play for, right? Like the Reds, they really controlled their destiny in this one. They getting some help from the Mets, but the Reds controlled their destiny in this one. If they would have won this game, they wouldn't have had to worry about what's going on with the Mets score. They wouldn't have to worry about what's happening outside of their control. So the Mets had everything to play for, and the Brewers delivering the knockout punch there with Danny Jansen in the bottom half of the fourth inning, putting him up 3-2. Again, as we mentioned, Andrew Vaughn would bat in a run there with a double of his own as well. The Brewers holding on for the 4-2 win, and it was a team effort in this one. And this felt like a Brewers victory. This felt like the Brewers team where we had seen them win 96 games prior to today, right? A lot of it, and we'll talk about in the things you'll be talking about tomorrow, but Freddie Peralta getting the start for the Brewers. DL Hall making his appearance for the Brewers. Good to see DL Hall out there, who's been a staple out of that bullpen for the Brewers. An inning pitch allowed that TJ Friedl home run, and it would give up one other hit. Trevor McGill out of the bullpen today, who was amazing. First pitch, 1 out. Ellie De La Cruz would ground out to, I believe it was second or first. 2 strikeouts after that for Trevor McGill, and that would be all he would see. Aaron Ashby, who I don't know if you can say enough good things about Aaron Ashby, the way that he has pitched since he's come back off of the IL. Aaron Ashby has been just simply amazing. Him and DL Hall together now, man, it's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome for those two guys. Chad Patrick making an appearance out of the bullpen. Jaron Kaning making an appearance. Abner Uribe shutting things down in the bottom half of the 9th inning. After DL Hall's 2 hits that he gave up in the 3rd inning, the Brewers did not allow a single hit after that. Trevor McGill, Aaron Ashby, Chad Patrick, Jared Kaning, Abner Uribe, completely shutting down the offense for the Cincinnati Reds, who, once again, by the way, let's let it be known that this Reds team needed this win. They needed to win. They wanted to win. Yes, the Mets are currently losing, and yes, that it looks like they'll probably lose, and the Reds will eventually get in with their, winning 83 games, but it would have been so much easier for this Reds team to just win this game. And again, a lot of shuffling for the Milwaukee Brewers, right? A lot of defensive subs. Andrew Vaughn, Blake Perkins, Joey Ortiz making a couple of subs late in this game and throughout this game. We mentioned the bullpen. A lot of guys only pitching 1 inning, including DL Hall and Trevor McGill. So a lot of moving pieces in this one for the Brewers, but they end it on a perfect note. This was the way this team has won all season long. It's never been pretty. It's never been perfect, but it's been the Brewer way, right? Aggressive on the base pass. They weren't overly aggressive. They were aggressive at times when they needed to be. Timely hitting. Thank you, Danny Jansen. 2-run shot in the 4th inning, eventually giving the Brewers a lead, and they would never look back. A phenomenal performance tonight. Everybody out of the bullpen. Started with Freddie Peralta getting the start. We knew it was going to be a short start for Freddie. We talked about it yesterday, and that's exactly what we saw. 97th win, man. A franchise best. And oh, by the way, guys, maybe they just needed the Locked On Brewers postcast to start so they could get this set the franchise record, because that's what it feels like, guys. We got to take a little credit where credit's due. It might be us. It might be you guys out there. But the Brewers do get the win, 4-2. Still so much to get to on the regular season finale. We'll get to the player of the game. We'll get to the things you'll be talking about tomorrow. And of course, your thoughts and your reactions coming up after this. Today's Locked On Brewers postcast is brought to you by 5-Hour Energy. Caffeine just got a flavor upgrade. 5-Hour Energy shots deliver tasty caffeine in now 17 bold flavors. Each 2-ounce shot packs the caffeine of a premium 12-ounce cup of coffee, plus B vitamins and nutrients with 0 sugar and 0 crashes. What I love about them most is how portable they are. Big taste, tiny shot. You can take it anywhere and get that boost that you need. The Packers play tonight, so tomorrow, yes, I will be using a 5-Hour Energy, maybe a couple of them throughout the course of the day. Enough with boring, flavorless caffeine. It's time to give your caffeine a flavor upgrade with 5-Hour Energy shots. Get the favorites you love, or be bold and try something new in store and online at 5hourenergy.com. Or if you're like me, you can use Amazon.com. Today's Locked On Brewers postcast is also brought to you by Nutrafol. You've probably seen a million ads for hair growth products and thought, sure, like that actually works. There's so many products out there, and it's hard to know which ones are actually going to do anything. That's why you should give Nutrafol a closer look. The #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand, trusted by over 1.5 million people. And now it is the official hair growth partner of Major League Baseball. You can feel great about what you're putting into your body since Nutrafol hair growth supplements are backed by peer-reviewed studies and NSF Contents certified, the gold standard in third-party certification of supplements. See thicker, stronger, faster-growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. For a limited time, you guys right now Nutrafol is offering you guys $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter promo code LOCKEDONMLB. Find out why Nutrafol is the best-selling hair growth supplement brand at Nutrafol.com. That's spelled Nutrafol.com. Promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's Nutrafol.com. Promo code LOCKEDONMLB. A 4-2 victorious regular season finale for our Milwaukee Brewers at American Family Field over the Cincinnati Reds. They salvaged the 3-game series there against the Reds, who look like they're potentially heading into October baseball as well, into that wild card series with the Mets currently losing. We'd be remiss on the Locked On Brewers postcast here if we did not do our regular season finale player of the game after a 4-2 win.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Danny Jansen, just a phenomenal story today for the Milwaukee Brewers, who just so desperately needed a big hit in a big moment, and he certainly provided that today for the Brewers. Not only was that home run huge for what the Brewers did, but him behind the dish today with so many players out of the bullpen. Keep in mind, some guys he's not completely used to either. Trevor McGill, DL Hall, some of the guys who have been, those guys have been hurt for most of September. But for Danny Jansen, obviously a big hit in the 4th inning was a turning point in tonight's ball game. He was also 2 for 3 with a walk in this one, but the way he called the game from behind the dish was absolutely fantastic. And for the regular season finale, Danny Jansen getting the Locked On Brewers postcast player of the game. I wish we kept a running tally on how many different players it's been over the course of the season. And that's probably normal for a lot of different teams, but it feels like for this Brewers team, they have won, they can win, and they have won in every single way. And today, I mean, who would have thought that Danny Jansen would finish off the regular season for the Brewers, getting the honors, but he certainly does. Again, big home run in the 4th inning there for Danny Jansen, breaking what was a 1-run deficit for the Brewers, giving them a 1-run lead. They would never look back. And behind the dish, I mean, DL Hall, Trevor McGill, Aaron Ashby, Chad Patrick, Jared Canning, Abner Uribe, all those combining for just 2 hits and 1 run. What a performance today from all of those guys, but it starts with Danny Jansen, who was behind the dish, getting the honors, I should say, for the Locked On Brewers postcast player of the game, as this team now finishes the regular season and will head into playoff baseball. Coming up, the things you'll be talking about tomorrow after the Brewers finish the regular season with the 97th win, the best in franchise record, and look ahead to the National League Divisional Series. Today's Locked On Brewers postcast is brought to you by Zipix Toothpicks. Whether you're looking for nicotine satisfaction or an energy boost, Zipix has you covered with their nicotine and caffeine-infused toothpicks. For nicotine users, it provides a discreet way to satisfy those cravings in the hand-to-mouth habit without vaping or smoking. It can be a helpful tool as you work to reduce your dependence on vaping. Available in 6 great flavors with 2 milligram and 3 milligram nicotine options. And if you need energy without the crash, their caffeine toothpicks are a game changer. Go to zipixtoothpicks.com. Use code LOCKEDON. That's code LOCKEDON for 10% off your first order. Must be 21 or older. There's a warning. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. That's zipixtoothpicks.com. Promo code LOCKEDON. Get 10% off. Zip more, smoke less with Zipix Toothpicks. A fun one at American Family Field to wrap up the regular season. The Brewers setting a franchise record for most wins in their regular season with 97. A roller coaster season comes to an end, and just an absolutely, to me, perfect finish for this Milwaukee Brewers team Let's talk about it in the things you'll be talking about tomorrow after a 4-2 win.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Tough at bats. Pat Murphy had talked about it. Got to be better with their approach. Good, timely hitting. We had talked about it. The Brewers need to come through with it. Danny Jansen today, 2 for 3, the big 2-run home run. Jackson Chourio today as well. If this bat gets going, he was 2 for 5 tonight. Both of his hits going to right center. That's when Jackson Chourio's at his best. So a great performance today by Jackson Chourio, as well as Danny Jansen, getting those guys combining for almost half of the Brewers' hits. Jackson Chourio with 2, Danny Jansen with 2. I should say over half their hits because they finished the day with 4. Great pitching. We've talked at lengths about this pitching staff for today. Freddie Peralta, 2 innings pitched, just giving up that solo shot. DL Hall giving up a solo shot. That would be it. After that, it would be shut down by everybody, it felt like, in the Brewers bullpen. Trevor McGill with an inning. Aaron Ashby with 2 innings. Aaron Ashby he's got some of the nastiest stuff, maybe the nastiest stuff on the Brewers pitching staff. I mean, it's absolutely filthy. 2 clean innings for Aaron Ashby, including 2 strikeouts. Chad Patrick with an inning of work, 2 strikeouts for Chad Patrick. You could probably pencil him in on that roster coming in for the NLDS. Jared Koenig, who's been lights out in the last month plus, has been fantastic with a clean inning, and Abner Uribe once again, and good defense too behind those guys. Great defense once again, and a lot of moving pieces, right? We saw Joey Ortiz with a pitch hit appearance. Blake Perkins went back out to center field later in the game. Andrew Vaughn with a pinch hit appearance, who Jake Bauer started the game at first base. So a lot of moving pieces, and I thought today overall this was a great way for this team to end the regular season, because it's been everything we have been asking for as of late, right? Get better pitching, get some good hitting, timely hitting, clutch hitting, get guys on base, create a little bit of stress on the opposing pitching staff, create a little bit of stress on the opposing defense. And that's exactly what the Brewers did, shutting down a team. Again, a team that had everything to play for, everything. And the Brewers shut them down after they put up 2 runs within the first 3 innings. The Brewers shut them down every single inning after that. A perfect way to end the regular season. Not only do you set the franchise record for most wins in the regular season with 97, you already clinched the number 1 seed, but you end the game, you end the season in the way that got you to this point. That's when we talked about it. Timely, tough at bats. Pat Murphy had talked about it. Guys got to do better at getting to first base. Clutch hitting, great pitching, great defense. And that sums up a 4-2 Milwaukee Brewers win over the Cincinnati Reds. They'll await the winner of the Padres-Cubs National League Wild Card Series. Your thoughts, your reactions, and of course, I better see some of your celebrations. We begin with Everydayer Nick. 97 wins, best in baseball, best crew record all time. Good day to win the game. Jansen, player of the game, or Ashby, just for shutting the Reds down. Bring on the postseason. Let's go, crew. Celebrate this win, guys. Celebrate it. I know September baseball overall the last few weeks hasn't been great. I know there's been some stress. I know there's been, a little bit of worry, a little bit of concern. There's been some frustration, but overall, this is the perfect way for this team to end the regular season. Everydayer Cody, who's been here since day one, happy they won 97 wins, but sad because it's the end of the regular season. Now I hope they win it where it matters. It is a little bit sad. And I should take a minute to thank all you guys. And we still got playoff baseball ahead of us. I'm not closing the book, but what an inaugural start to the Locked On Brewers postcast. And again, for all of you guys that have chimed in, that have tuned in, that have watched, that have followed the program, followed this team. I mean, you guys have made this, it's so much fun. Now, obviously, it helps when you win 97 wins and win the division and number 1 overall seed and kind of have a lot of fun doing so. But you guys have been absolutely awesome. So I cannot thank you enough. You guys should get the Locked On Brewers honorable mention player of the game as well, each and every one of you. George over on YouTube, awesome record for the Brewers, even though we kind of crumbled there towards the end. Big thing is you crumbled, yes. However, you set yourself up for success before you started crumbling. And I'll also make note of it, right? The Phillies aren't playing great. I know the Cubs have won the series and dominated the Cardinals, who had nothing to play for. But before this series, the Cubs had lost 5 straight. The Cubs haven't been playing good baseball. The Dodgers haven't been playing great baseball. The Mets are a train wreck. The Reds needed, a Mets collapse to get into the postseason. The Reds had just lost 2 of 3 against the Pirates prior to this series. Nobody really in the National League has been playing outstanding, lights out baseball as we gear up for October. This Brewers team set themselves up for success. They deserve that credit. They deserve any benefit of the doubt because of why? Because we've all doubted them. I will raise my hand and admit that to each and every one of you. I doubted them. I'm sure every single one of you guys doubted them early parts and certainly in April and definitely May. And we still a little had some there in June. And this team continues to prove every single person wrong, including the odds makers in Vegas. Everydayer Charles couldn't have edited any better. Entire bullpen looked great. Timely hitting shows up. Loving it. Yeah, it's a great comment. And I couldn't say it any better than Everydayer Charles did himself. It was again, I said it was the perfect way to end the regular season. A perfect game to end the regular season. Who now will have 5-6 days off, 6 technically. They're going to have 5 because they're going to have a workout, a playoff workout on Friday ahead of the NLDS. But now you're able to rest up. You're able to set your pitching. You're able to hopefully get a healthier William Contreras going forward. I don't think there's been a final word on Brandon Woodruff. I wouldn't expect to see him, but there's still good things about this, even though it hasn't been pretty, in the last couple of weeks. Tom, going into the postseason, I kept reading that our crew is doomed because the postseason is all about big market home run teams. What team has the largest home run differential in Major League Baseball? He answers that great question by saying the Brew Crew. Fantastic, Tom. Absolutely fantastic. And that is why I'm so high on this Brewers team and why I always haven't been high on them, but I have grown into that is because they can beat you. To your point, Tom, they do have the largest run differential in baseball, and nobody would have guessed that, but it's the way that they do it, right? Yelich led the team in home runs, just came one shy of 30. I was hoping he was going to get to 30. I think he's been on 29 for a couple of weeks now. Was hoping he was going to get it. He had one today that felt and sounded like it may have been number 30, just got under it a tick. Man, what a great story for Christian Yelich, but he led the team in home runs with 29. Like, this Brewers team is doing things that just we haven't seen, but they're doing it in different ways, right? They're able to win in so many different ways, and that's why I think they're so dangerous heading into October. John, this Brewers team easily wins with over 100 games with different umps in the last 6 games. Roberto Ortiz, yes, would agree with that. 25 missed calls the other day in San Diego. They probably win that game if that's different, but totally agree. For me, the biggest thing is you set yourself up. You have achieved every goal. The goals that Pat Murphy had set prior to the season, the Brewers have met. Get into the postseason, win your division, get the number 1 overall seed, remain relatively healthy. They've checked every box, every single box. You cannot be any more satisfied than that right now heading into the NLDS. All of your boxes have been checked. You now have time to rest, set your pitching, see what happens in the Padres-Cubs Wild Card Series, which can be anything. We've seen it last year, unfortunately. So it's going to be an interesting one. And speaking of the Wild Card Series, Everydayer Charles on the YouTube chat, he said, I'd love to see Murphy take down Craig Counsell and the Chicago Cubs. No way does Craig Counsell make better game time decisions than Murphy. Brewers will sweep the Cubs if the Cubs can get there. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting wild card series. The storylines are going to be great. Obviously, if the Brewers and the Cubs meet up, will be fantastic. That'll be grab your popcorn type series. The Padres, a loaded roster. That would be a fun one. But guess what? All roads lead to American Family Field for the World Series. The Brewers with the number 1 record, the best record in baseball, the number 1 overall seed, franchise best 97th win today, a 4-2 win. And my thanks, as always, to each and every single one of you. I cannot thank you enough for making the Locked On Brewers postcast part of your day each and every day, all season long. So thank you for making this so much fun. Thank you to the Brewers for winning 97 games and helping along the way. But thanks to each and every one of you guys for always making us part of your day. Quick, friendly reminder, wherever you guys get audio podcasts, you can get this as well. The Locked On Brewers postcast is available on Apple, Google, Spotify, Amazon, anywhere you get podcasts, as well as over on YouTube. All our stuff there on YouTube, free and available. Search Locked On Brewers. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. Going to be a few days before we see each other again. We'll talk after Game 1 of the National League Division Series. We'll see if the Brewers take on the Cubs or the Padres. But as always, not only do I thank each and every one of you, cannot be here without each and every one of you guys making this part of your day. Thank you to the Brewers. 97 wins, a franchise best, and we're just getting started. Next up for the Brewers, playoff baseball. Can't wait to talk about it. As always, all season long, it's always been the same. win, lose, or draw. And boy, they've won 97 times. It feels good to say it to end the regular season. But as always, go Brewers. Have a good one, everyone. See ya.